Cage Minds Uncensored is back. We have Celine Haga from the JacksonWInk Academy and Invicta FC joining us right now. Thank you for the time.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, I guess.
Coming off of a controversial situation at Invicta FC 21. Now, I know from talking to people around the gym that we all knew following this event, the world would be talking about you. People would know your name. But could you have expected that it would happen in this kind of manner? Are you surprised about how much, first, media and talk this situation has garnered?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't expect so much attention. And honestly, I just want to win on my record, and that's it. I don't really care about all the other stuff.
Okay, so want to talk about the fight then, real quick. First round happens. End of the first round, she has you in an arm bar. Did you hear the bell when we saw you tap and the referee said it came after the bell? Did you hear the bell?
So I knew she had the armbar, and I knew it was 10 seconds left. And I had my thumb down, and I felt my arm was safe. But as soon as the bell was ringing, I was just waiting for it to ring so I could save my arm so it was okay for the next round. So I don't consider it a tap. But if the people who do, it's still, when I touched my arm, it happened after the bell.
So you did hear the bell when you went for it?
Yeah, I did.
And then the rest of the fight, the next 2 rounds, it's a hard fight. What did you think of what Amy brought to the cage and how she was fighting you?
She was really strong. The fight kind of went as I expected. I wish I could have done more, but 2 weeks before my fight, I injured my knee, so I felt I couldn't really do what I wanted to do from my back in the fight, because of my knee. But everybody have excuses, I guess. So she was a good opponent, and yeah, I think she did a good fight. And I know I was losing the fight until the end of the 3rd round when I got the choke.
Desperation, you get that rear naked choke at the end. You guys hit the floor. It's an awkward position, first off. Have you hit that choke on anybody in competition like jiu-jitsu or anything before from such a strange position where you didn't really have the mount or the back where you off to the side?
Yeah, I've done it before. Pure desperation, I guess. And I know I know when I have it, and I could feel it was tight, and I knew it was a few seconds left. They said 30 seconds, and I just wanted to win so bad, I guess. And I could feel her, I could hear her breathing hard, and it was still a few seconds left. And then I could feel she just fell asleep, I guess. And then I heard a bell, and yeah, I guess that's what happened.
She fell over to the side on you. You could feel when she went unconscious?
Yeah, I could feel. You can basically feel when somebody pass out. And I could hear it on her breathing too.
Now, what transpired? What were you hearing from referee Greg Franklin after the bell rings and you release the choke? And you can obviously see that she's unconscious. Do you remember any of what was going on being said right there in the corner?
So I remember the fight was over, and I knew she was out because, the ref, he was, stopping it, and, I could hear people were yay, and my corner was yeah, she's out, and I knew she was out, so I was just super happy that I pulled it off. But then I could hear her corner said, no, it was after the bell, but I don't know, I had kind of mixed emotions sitting there.
Were you close enough when the referee got Amy up and she said what happened? Could you hear her say that?
Yeah, I could hear that, and it sucked because I could also hear people say it's gonna, her corner said this should go to decision, and I was oh, why am I sitting here waiting for my opponent to wake up, to go and hear the decision getting.
I know you were exhausted after that. But the only thing I could think afterwards is it was too bad you were so tired. You should have been running around the ring with your arms up, happy that you got the stoppage, and really forcing that point maybe. Do you think you could have argued a little harder that moment, or do you think the referee had made his decision?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I was just so in shock, I guess. And her corner, they were up in my face right away and telling me that I lost. So I didn't know like how to react.
Does this at least go on your highlight reel, this finish? I mean, people can call it what they want. Amy said afterwards, whatever that situation was, but most of us with two eyes can see she went unconscious. You won by submission. Does this go down for you as a big highlight reel victory?
Yeah, but like I said, like the most important thing for me right now was actually to get the win on the record, because I really want an even record right now, and a win would be like 2 fights away, and the loss is 4 fights away now. So.
And you have appealed this decision?
Yeah, I got help from a sports lawyer and my manager, so I'm still waiting for an answer.
And did they have any comments to you? Are they hopeful?
So far they are. So the commission is looking at the video right now, so I hope, I think it will make the Missouri commission look bad if they don't do anything, at least make it a no contest.
And now we got to talk about the other stuff that happened. I heard, you're a warrior just for getting in there that night after, I believe we've heard, the knee injury, baggage was lost. I don't think your banner showed up, your fight gear didn't show up. You had a trying week leading up to Invicta 21. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, nothing showed up. So I actually fought in my training clothes, and my banner didn't show up, so I felt kind of bad for my sponsors. But this was the first fight I actually had sponsors, at least more than 2. So, and my knee was bothering me. I didn't really train 2 weeks before my fight. And since grappling is my base, I was a little bit worried about the grappling aspect and shooting doubles and stuff. So, but I wanted so bad to fight in Invicta, so pulling out of the fight was not really an option.
A lot of adversity and everything you're able to do. Do you still take away positives from this experience?
Yeah, always. Going into the cage was the best moment of my life. I love it. It's just training camp, growing as a fighter. Yeah, I like it.
And I've been chasing you, not literally, but figuratively, for about 3 weeks now, if not longer, to try to get this interview. So the original, before all this controversy, we wanted to learn about you. So now that we've been able to talk about the fight, we all know what happened, we heard your opinion about it, I want to learn more about Celine. So, to start off with, how did you find martial arts? How did you end up getting into this crazy fight game? You had a little story for us earlier. Could you share that now with?
Oh yeah. So when I was, I think, 19, 20 years old, I wanted to join the army. But I happened to fail all the physical tests. It wasn't really a big surprise because I failed all my PE classes too. And I actually ended up injuring myself trying to do a push-up. So I was advised by the doctor to start lifting weights for my own health. And since I'm kind of all or nothing person, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go 100% in. I wanna compete in this. So I kind of dedicated the next year just eating healthy. I stopped drinking. I did this course, becoming a personal trainer, because I don't really trust other people, so I want to learn about how to train myself. And 1 year later, I competed in powerlifting. Then at one of the poker tournaments that I played at, I met this guy who were talking about jiu-jitsu. He was this small guy, skinny, and he showed me this Kimura lock. And I was just surprised how effective it was, and I thought that strength and power was everything. And I wanted to learn it too, so I just ended up buying 10 private lessons from a jiu-jitsu coach. And ever since, I don't know, I just fallen in love with the sport, I guess.
And when was the first time you took an MMA fight? How did that happen?
I was in Norway, and I didn't really have a lot of training partners. And I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I was really a big fan of Megumi Fuji. So I wanted to go to Japan, and I was kind of tired of playing poker too, so I decided to take some of my savings and go to Japan. I met her, and I trained there. I think I altogether had trained grappling for maybe almost 1.5 years. and they offered me a fight in Japan. I couldn't say no. I was like, oh, I can fight pro in Japan. I didn't really think about that. I should have had amateur fights or like experience at all.
Let's talk about hitting the ground running. What was it like, limited experience, and jumping into the full contact world of MMA when you had really just done jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, so my first opponents were kind of high-level jiu-jitsu people. Like in Japan, they have a lot of good ground fighters, and my only game plan was takedown, which I didn't really know how to take people down, and grapple. So it was kind of hard, but it was a learning by doing experience, I guess. Yeah.
And you've had a lot of fights, a lot of experience. How did you find your way now to where we are here, Albuquerque, New Mexico?
So after I had an accident in Japan, I broke my orbital, and I ended up in the hospital there. And the promotions in Japan, they don't really have insurance for the fighters, so I ended up in the hospital with a $15,000 bill, and I just decided to never fight in Japan again. So I was home back in Norway, and I heard that they were gonna have Ultimate Fighter tryout for 115. So I had heard about Jackson MMA, and I sent an email to Julie Kedzie at that time and asked if I could come and train like 1 month just to prepare for the Ultimate Fighter, and she said yes. So I came to Albuquerque, I trained, and then UFC told me that no, you can't come because you have a losing record. And I was like, oh my god, I just spent the last of my cash going to US to train for the Ultimate Fighter, like giving the last shot, like following my dream, and they won't even let me try out. But Greg, he said like I could stay, and I was like, okay, I have to now. I'm never gonna go back to Norway. I'm just gonna stay here, train hard until I get there, like the other way.
And since then, you've been a staple here in the gym. And what did it mean to you? I know it meant a lot to finally get that call to be part of Invicta.
So then it means a lot to me because now at least I get fights. That's been a big problem before, but I'm happy, but I'm not happy until like it's like getting a good job. It doesn't matter unless you can show good results, I guess. So.
And then on a off-topic kind of, you're almost a cerebral assassin here. I mean, poker, grappling, and chess. You're very cerebral and methodical. What is this about these games, and what do you like about them and that mental aspect of everything?
I just think they're challenging. Can always learn new stuff. Like, so my mental coach think I'm too analytical, and he wants me to be less analytical. So in a way, it's not a good thing always to combine all of these things. But I don't know. Like I just like it, I guess.
It makes sense to you the way you do things?
Yeah, I guess.
What is it about poker tournaments that you like?
I just like winning, I guess. It's just exciting, like to see how you can like. I like the psychological aspect of poker. I like how you can like sit around the same table as people and like learn how they play. At the end, like you remember their betting, like how the pattern, how they are betting and playing the cards, and it's just fun to play people.
Is there a feeling in there that you're able to read people when you're playing poker, kind of like you're able to read what's going on in a fight?
Yeah, it's a combination, I guess, with skills and just like the feeling, reading people, so, everything all together.
And what has it been about this world, the martial arts world, this competitive world, whether it's chess, the poker, MMA, that has made you feel that you found your path?
Like the feeling of waking up, doing what I love every day, being surrounded by people I like, being just free to do what I love to do, I guess. It's given me so many opportunities to travel around the world, meet new people that I would never met if I didn't do MMA.
So this has obviously been the exciting, and made you feel that you found where you're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Celine, I picked your brain. I bothered you. I got to thank you for the time. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to get another interview with her, and we'll learn more about Celine here another time. We already bugged her, talked about the fight, and learned a little bit. There'll be more show in just a second.